Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks. Today's project is this cool looking shoe. Now, I get a lot of questions asked saying that can a glued down construction shoe be converted to a Goodyear welted shoe? Well, what's a Goodyear welted shoe? You've got the uppers are turned in. You've got a piece of leather right here that stitches the footbed, the uppers, that piece together. And then the leather sole comes on the bottom, leather, rubber, whatever it is, and it stitches to that little leather welt. This is called a stitch down construction, where you have the uppers kind of flare up like that, sole puts on and stitches together. Now, most of the time, this kind of construction or glued down construction, a glued down construction is very similar to this. It's folded under and then the sole is glued onto the shoe. There's no stitches involved, okay? Trying to convert something like this to a Goodyear welt, which is not impossible, but people ask me, can it be converted? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to turn this stitched down construction to a Goodyear welted construction shoe. Now, why do we do this? Frankly, I don't know. You know, people ask me that question, you know, can it be done? And me being the guy says, yeah, anything's possible. It can be done. Well, it can be done. Is it worth it? Is it cost effective to do it? This particular one, I quoted him minimum 400. The guy sent me a check, 400 and a shoe to do it. Now, it costs a lot more to do that because it's very time consuming. Now, is it possible on every pair? Not really, okay? It's kind of tricky to do because you're kind of changing the structure of the shoe or the boot, whatever you want to call it. And not every shoe / boot is a good candidate to do that to. But we're going to do it on this one, okay? Basically, we're just going to take it apart. I'll show you guys and just change the structure of it. And I think it'll be okay once it gets done. This has a crepe sole, okay? This is called plantation crepe. It's crepe rubber. And we're going to convert it to day-night sole. Basically add a welt all the way around, 360-degree welt, which means that the welt goes all the way around the back of the heel. A 270-degree welt, which is from here all the way to the toe, back to the heel there. Okay? This particular one will go all the way around. And I think it'll be okay. So once it gets done, it'll just change the look of the shoe or the boot. All right. So it's not a new shirt. I know you guys are gonna ask me. It's an old shirt. Okay. I used to wear these shirts when I was kind of promoting my website, leatherrepair.com. But that site is so old, over 20 years old, and I haven't really touched it. And I've really had issues with web designers, and I finally gave up on it. I said, you know what, just leave it there. So I don't advertise that anymore, but you're welcome to go see it. It's not a bad website, but it needs to be updated big time. Anyway, and this watch, some people asked me about this watch. This is a Seiko. It was a gift from one of the viewers. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And what else? I didn't lose weight. People saying you lost weight. No, I still got a nice belly, you know, and that hasn't changed. It's still the same. What else? My daily work consists of lots of shoes and bags and jackets. I tend to try to keep up with everything. It's difficult, but I try to do the best I can. I do have help now. I've got a full-time cobbler who's helping me out. Now, he's doing pretty good, actually. I'm still not letting him do everything, but at least he gets started. I can help him put the final touches on it. And I've also got a part-time patching guy. It's what do we call it? Basically, who does like the sewing, adding elastics to shoes, insoles, sewing straps on purses, minor stuff, you know. So, which is kind of good because I used to be backlogged about 2 months, Now I'm kind of caught up with that. It might be 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks will be turnaround, depending on the job. Some of the bigger jobs, it's going to take a little longer. All right, so let's get started. Here goes nothing. I got my boots on, by the way. I can't raise my leg up that high. My clean, polished. Well, they're not very clean anymore. My last video, I did my boots. Well, you know, I got to take care of myself, you know. People are saying, "Oh, I can see Steve working on his boots with his bare feet." No, I put another pair on. God, I hate that noise. I wasn't barefoot. No, sir. Look at this. And this is like a $600 pair of boots. You know, it's not a cheap boot. It's an Italian boot. Let's see what it is. This is called Etro. E-T-R-O Milano. Made in Italia. That doesn't mean much, you know. Okay, we're creeping around almost 100,000 subscribers. I don't even know what that means, you know. It's kind of cool, I guess. We need to come up with a whatchamacallit, like something to do when we hit 100,000. I mean, what are some ideas, guys? I need your help because this is all new to me. I mean, giveaways, is that what people usually do? Give things away? I mean, I got a lot of shoes I can like redo. You know, as a matter of fact, there's going to be a video coming soon. Let me see if I can grab the shoe. This is a Creme shoe. Okay, a while back, I told you guys that Creme contacted me saying that they want to do something with, you know, with us. So I'm going to redo that shoe. Since it was kind of given to me, it wasn't, you know, I didn't buy it, so I'd like to kind of pay it forward, you know, to some of the viewers. This is a size 9.5. So what we're going to do, we're going to redo the soles and take it apart and talk about, you know, basic construction, how good the shoe is. And after it gets done, I want to kind of donate it to somebody. But I don't know. I'm still learning this YouTube lingo. And I got to figure out how I'm going to do it, you know. So hopefully some of you viewers have some ideas on how to donate stuff, you know. And, you know, I don't like the fact that if I donate it, is somebody going to turn around and sell it? You know what I mean? I guess it's possible, but I guess I can't worry about that. I can't control that once it leaves my hands. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of a disappointed if that happens, because I'd like for the customer to, you know, basically wear it, you know, and enjoy the shoes, not try to sell it and make money off of it. That's not cool. So let me know, guys, in the comments section, what can I do to kind of do like a thank you giveaway, whatever we want to call it, when we reach 100,000. But this Creme shoe will be done before that, hopefully in a week or two. And I know we're not gonna hit 100,000 in a week or two, just creeping up slowly, which is kind of cool. So, we remove the sole. As you can see, there's not much to the shoe. This is the uppers. Look how flat it is. I mean, just a, you know, a leather piece, leather lining, a toe stiffener, which is not much of a stiffener, but still a little bit of let me try that again. Toe stiffener. Just gives it a little bit of structural support around the front of the shoe and the back. Cool. All right, the stitches are clean. All right, let's continue. This is what we call a last, L-A-S-T. This is how shoes are made, basically, right? The uppers are done and it stretches over here. This is the shape of the foot, shape of the toe. This is what dictates what shape the finished shoe is going to look like, the shape of this toe. Some are rounded, some are squared off, okay? So basically what we did, we wet the uppers down, okay, with a little bit of 50% rubbing alcohol, 50% water. This is just to kind of relax it a little bit so I can reshape it. Okay. Now, as you guys can see, you know, it's changing the look already. Okay. Because we're taking the uppers, we're curving it down instead of it flared out and stitched down, which is called a stitch down construction. Now, we need to kind of have the customer's foot shape in order to know what's, you know, how we're going to do it, if it's going to fit the customer, you know, after it gets done. Now, this is the footbed that was there, okay? We're going to reuse this. It's going to give us basically the shape that we want. Now, how do we do that? Because this is a lot wider than a regular, whatchamacallit footbed, a Goodyearwelt footbed. We're going to cut this about 1/2 inch all the way around, okay? That's going to give us the inside measurement of the shape of the foot. And then we're going to basically attach a gemming. A gemming is, I don't have one already apart, or I'll show you. Actually, here. This is a perfect example. I took this apart yesterday with another pair. This, imagine being the footbed that you step on. You see the foot impression? Ball of the foot to toes? This is what that piece is going to be. So we're going to attach this fabric. This is called a gemming right there, which is going to allow the uppers to come over like this and put the welt on and re-stitch it. These are the stitches that you're seeing that we're going to stitch the welt on with. So this gives you a better idea of how we're going to, you know, you change the construction of it. So again, this is not it's not a difficult job, but this is almost like making a shoe, you know. Of course, making a shoe is a lot more complicated. I'm not a shoemaker. I was never taught to be a shoemaker, even though my dad was a shoemaker. But unfortunately, he never taught me the proper way to make shoes, which is, you know, the detail as far as, you know, taking measurements and how high the back needs to be, the toe shape, everything. There's a lot of details that comes to making shoes. So I'm kind of winging it. So I'm sure there's some people watching saying, "Oh, that's not how it's done, man." I know. I'm just kind of improvising. Okay. So I think that'll be all right. All right, let's continue. All right, now, so this is what's going to dictate the shape of the shoe and the fit. This piece here, this footbed. And this is called a gemming. This is a piece of canvas. Basically, we glue right on the edge. And once we lift this up right here, the uppers will come in like this. The welt, everything gets stitched on. Okay? It'll look, you know, like that once it's finished. Now, there's different ways of doing Goodyear welted construction. Okay? This is basically like a production Goodyear welted method. This is called hold fast, okay? Basically, it's a piece of leather. It's carved a little channel right there. It's the same shape as this, just like that. So instead of a gemming, it's actually stitched on through the leather piece, uppers, and the welt. This is much more durable construction. Most of the custom shoemakers, bespoke shoemakers, will do it like that. And most of the production shoes will do it like the way I'm doing here. Obviously, it's not done by hand. It's all machine. It's glued on in like 5 seconds, you know. But I'm not a manufacturer, so I'll do it by hand, one pair at a time. So there's lots of different little details that are involved with, you know, making an actual shoe. And again, I'm just kind of, I mean, I haven't studied shoemaking, which I'd love to do. I always say when I retire, I'll start learning how to make shoes, you know. When I retire. Maybe it's time. Let me just sell the business and just do mail orders. That's it. Something to think about, that's for sure. I wouldn't stop working. No, of course not. I just wouldn't have a shop anymore, you know? Which is okay. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. I got to make sure that, you know, it gets sold to somebody who knows what they're doing, you know? Well, I would keep the name probably. I would keep the, I mean, I really never thought about it, but I guess we would give them like a 6-month transition time, you know? And then they would have to put their own name on the business. I'd keep Vito's Leatherworks, you know? And I guess I can open up a little, like a workshop in my garage and do mail orders only, which is something I've thought about doing before. I don't know. I guess I'm not ready just yet, just to give up on the shop. Oh, there's going to be hammer time today, okay? I know y'all were complaining about last time it's no hammer time. All right, I'm coming. It's getting there, all right? Damn, y'all are so impatient. Last one, I didn't talk too much. Actually, some people like the fact that I didn't talk too much. You guys are such diverse viewers, right? At some point, people are so glad that I do something, and then on the other hand, there's people like, oh man, don't do that shit, that's not good. Oh Lord. I like, look, when I do these voices or say these things, I have fun with you guys, you know? I told you guys last time, it's just too serious, this world, man. Lighten up a little bit. It's not a big deal. We're fixing shoes, for crying out loud. There are other, you know, worse things in the world that I could be doing. Thank God I got the strength and patience and knowledge to share with you guys what I do. And when I do the complainer voice, it's not a bad thing. It's just making fun of myself with that voice and in the comments, you know. Like last time when I did that, I guess it was Happy Gilmore voice, like, shut up, shut up. You know, somebody's like, well, by the time you looked that up and found it, you could have done this and that. I know that. It was just making fun. God, you guys got to relax. Relax. It's going to be my saying now. Relax. Somebody complain about that. Don't tell me to relax. I'll do what I want to do. Shut up! Oh, Lord, I cracked myself up. All right, getting back to this. So as you guys can see, the gimming is done. We are getting there. I love what I do. All right, let's continue. So basically, as you guys can see, I've temporarily stitched the toe to kind of reshape that before I put the welt on. Okay. We're going to add a couple of more stitches here on the sides, just to kind of give it some shape. Let it dry like that. And then we'll go ahead, come in and put the welt on and put a sole on. All right, it's getting there. All right, let's continue. Alrighty. So this project continues. Now we get to stitch on the welt. Make sure the thread is even on both sides. And simply we follow the old holes of the stitch, previous stitch. Okay. Now this is going to take me a while to stitch, so I won't bore you with all these little, all the little details. Basically, we're just going to stitch it all the way around like that. And it becomes a Goodyear welted shoe. Okay, let's continue. She is getting there. Now we put the metal shank, cover that with leather, cork on the front. We'll sand this down and we'll glue that, stitch it, put the heel base, put the heel lift, clean it up, finished. Excuse me. One more. Oh my goodness. I usually do 3 in a row. Woo, I'm allergic to shoes, man. Woo. That cracks me up. Now, lordy, 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 lord. So as you guys can see, it's coming along fairly good. No complications that came up. Just had to improvise a couple times. But other than that, not bad. You guys always make a comment about my glue pot, right? Well, it's a glue pot. And as you work, as you pull the brush away, you're going to have lots of, you know, like leftovers. See, like that? Once in a while it gets piled up. And what I'll do is I shall clean it up. See? Man, I've seen some of my friends' glue pots. You can't even tell it's a glue pot anymore because it's so built up like that. I mean, it's like a work of art. See? Make a ball out of it. All right, let's continue. How could I forget hammer time? You guys won't let me. You know, you see how the shoe moves around, right? I mean, you see me pounding, but there's a little, there's a way to do this where when you're hammering the back of the heel, you got to make sure that it's all the way up this way, so you got the last underneath. Okay? If it's back here, obviously it's not going to work. So as I'm hammering it, I move the boot around or shoe around, make sure that last is underneath there. It's not just hammering the sole on there. There's a little art. I guess there's an art behind it. Voila! Now this is my apprentice's last. That's why it's moving. Mine is not moving here. Not as much anyway. I want to show you guys something. I came across a iron last that my dad uses. I'm sorry, used to use. Jeez, it's only been 30 some years, or close to 30 years. And he brought it all the way over from Lebanon. And basically he found a tree stump, and he put that in there. It's just like this idea, but it's shorter. Where he sat down in a little small chair and, you know, pounded away. I'll have to find that. It's in the basement somewhere. I was looking for something the other day and came across that. All right, as you guys can see, it's beginning to look like a shoe. We're going to go ahead and trim this a little bit because it's still a little too wide. Open a groove, stitch it, put the heel, stacked heel, and the top lift on, or the other way. And she's getting there. All right, let's continue. Look, my knife is tied to the machine. It's not going anywhere. Because I always lose the damn thing. I made it long enough so it'll fit all three machines. So this is what we call the outsole stitcher, right? It literally stitches the sole on the outside like that. You see now you got a nice beautiful stitch on the welt. All the way around. Beautiful. Red stitching. The color doesn't matter. The color is just basically, it's just that you can do whatever you want, you know? You could do white, black, green, yellow, red, blue, whatever you want. Nothing structural. It's just aesthetics. I like the red. It's kind of gives it a nice contrast. So now we've converted the shoe into a Goodyear lasted shoe, which is very cool. I like the way it turned out. Alright. Oh man, I forgot to bring the last over. Alright, I promise I'll go get that last I was telling you guys about. Woohoo! Let's continue. Here it is. Now, hold on, let me see if I can lower this to show you guys. Now, I don't know how old this is, okay? But it's pretty crude, as you can see. It's handmade. So let's do some math. So my dad was 60 when he died. That was almost 30 years ago. So if he was, say, when he was 20, he started, working. Let's just, that's 70 years right there. So, I mean, this is at least 70 years old. At least, I would say. At least. Right? Now, he put a tree stump. Tree stump's got a crack in it. I'm going to have to put a band around it to hold it together. Basically, you'd sit there and you put the shoe in. You hammer away or you stitch or whatever you got to do. So, I don't use it anymore. I used to use it, but I don't use it anymore. I don't want to use it anymore. I want to kind of keep it and just make sure that it's safe. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. When I die and I'm done, what are my kids going to do? Throw it away? Who knows? Hopefully it won't be for a while. So I'll just keep it. And maybe put in a corner of the room for just to, just to have it. Along with those other tools. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. See ya. Let's continue. I'm just putting a little pattern on the side here of the stitch. Again, it's all aesthetics, right? It's nothing to do structural. Because they're going to walk on it and it's going to wear off. But you know what? I don't care. I think it kind of looks cool. Adds a little detail. As you can see, it doesn't take me that long to do it. Where is it at? You guys see that? Very faint. But somebody can see it, appreciates it. Oh, this was a nice project. I know, I have a feeling that I'm going to be getting calls and requests to basically convert shoes to Goodyear welted shoes. Now, I don't know how to say this, but not all shoes are a good candidate, okay? And you've got minimum $600 to drop on a shoe repair. I'll be glad to take a look at it, but it's not easy nor cheap. Okay, keep that in mind. Out. Okay. Now finalize stitching, sanding, cleaning, polishing. We'll be ready to go. I put this tape here on the inside part of the shoe because when I'm stitching it, you get the thread lubricant on that area, and I didn't want that to get dirty. Not that it's not clean. Well, we'll clean it up a little bit. Looks a little blotchy, but it'll be all right once it gets done. All right, let's continue. Okay, we're getting there. I sprayed a little bit of a conditioner here. I don't know if this is available on the market, but I know it's just for us in the trade. These are good people. LM Professional. This is basically leather suede, I should say, suede conditioner. Works pretty good. I don't think I sprayed this one. This is an Italian product, so you might have a hard time finding it at your local shoe repair shop. Alrighty. These are looking good. I think the customer's going to be very happy. Not too bad, not too shabby. I got one more detail to do. which is putting the pattern on the welt with my fudge wheel. Okay, that's just putting a little pattern on the edge of the welt. Now this is usually hot when it's applied on there, but that welt is still a little wet, so it's soft enough to put the pattern on. Again, little details makes it worthwhile. I don't know if you guys can see it. See the little ridges there? Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Touch it up a little bit there too. All right, I think we're done. All right, let's continue. All right, welcome back. We are done with another project. I think they turned out pretty good. It's a nice solid shoe now. Now, I get a lot of requests for, I shouldn't say requests, questions that can a particular design shoe be converted to a Goodyear welt? Like Blake stitch shoes. Blake stitch are basically, it's the sole comes on and it stitches from the inside out. Okay, or just a glue-on construction where you've got the sole just glued on to the uppers. Well, when it's that kind of a design, it's a glue-on construction, the uppers fold down and the sole comes on top of it. Well, Goodyear is a lot different, obviously. This was a stitched down construction where the uppers went out and stitched to the sole. Now, not all shoes are constructed the type of quality that it's a good idea to do this kind of a job. Okay, it's a lot of work. Forget the money aspect of it. It's if it's possible structurally, if it would work or not. Okay, not all shoes are a good candidate for it. Can it be done? I'm sure it can be done. Anything is possible, but at what cost? Okay, like I said earlier, I gave the customer a quote for 400, but these type of jobs, minimum 600 and up. It really depends on what type of shoe you have, you know, and how long it's going to take me to do it, how well it's going to work. There's a lot of little ifs in between, you know, if we decide to do it or not. So, you know, I know I'm going to get emails now. Hey, I got this shoe, I got that shoe. Can you convert it to Goodyear? Well, again, anything is possible, but sometimes you got to weigh the quality of the shoe, how well it's going to turn out, if you're going to get many years of use out of it, and the cost of the repair. Well, this isn't really a repair. It's like a restoration, I would say, right? Resto-mod. Yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah, if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. I'm still getting comment section. I'm still getting questions regarding the particular items that you have, if it can be done, how it can be done, how much it would cost. Guys, please email me, okay? It's bedos@yahoo.com, and I'll see if I can get to it in a timely manner. Lately, I've been kind of slacking on the emails, but I promise you I will. I'll get to them as soon as I can, and I'll answer them accordingly. Okay, thank you very much again for joining me. I appreciate it. You guys are welcome to share, make comments. I guess there's no bell notifications anymore is what I'm hearing. Forget about the bell then. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. And just subscribe if you don't mind. And I'd greatly appreciate it. All right. Thanks again. We'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.